We definitely had fun at the thrift store, and I know a new way of making money now, and that's showing up at the thrift store with the truck.
Chequearon porque yo le dije a ellos lo que me pasó, entonces ellos me chequearon.
I guess some people would consider these like serving trays, I would believe sometimes they would be used for. I know in college we used to use them for different things. I'm influenced by a lot of different mediums of art. Musicians make an album and it may have a theme, and that theme may reoccur in 2 or 3 albums later, like Blueprint Part 5 or something like that. Or also like directors and movie directors they have to cast members, they have to create environments and settings along with telling the story, and that helps create the full picture, I believe. And also it's kind of like comedians, they have to go and travel to different places and do shows. Sometimes they have to do different materials. They may do 8 sets a night, and by the end of the night they may be doing totally different material because it's just something that has developed during the time and being in that space. So I like to try to carry that work method, work ethic within my artwork as well. Mm-hmm. Part of the reason why I started working on collage one is because I'm naturally a recessive artist. Like I take away stuff. So I could take away, like I can work a stone and make a sculpture out of it like that. But then when it comes to like adding and building out in 3 dimensions, even in sculpture, it was hard for me to kind of like wrap my head around it. So originally I started trying to work with collage, which helped kind of like fix my brain to be able to kind of like start working out like that. Similar to like how the DJs and musicians work, where you can lay down a track, take a little bit of Miles Davis, put a little from DMX in there, and then like, you know, have a whole different song. I try to do the same thing with the artwork, where I'll pull certain things, certain images. I'll use different materials and lay those things on top of each other and layer it like a. And I go back to say kind of like a layered cake, and that's why I could refer to my work as a layered cake. Is because like not only are there multiple layers of like materials of paint that's laid on top of each other and edited to be one piece, the ideas and the thoughts and the references are also very layered. My mom has a dog collection that's like ridiculous. Like I probably couldn't sleep in that bed. Actually, I slept in that bedroom before, and it's weird. Yeah, the doll bedroom. She worked in retail for a while. She was a display manager, so she did a lot of window installations and using mannequins and like all different types of floral arrangements. Both of my parents definitely influenced my art. Like my father, he always had a camera, so I know that's where my photogenic side comes from. And I use photographs a lot in my work too, or source materials from photographs that I take. The stencils that I use come from the photographs, and it also allows me to kind of like kind of use a printmaking method too, because I can reuse these stencils and like print out a whole lot of different editions almost, but not so much editions because, you know, I just need to use the image more than once.
Are you pulling from current events, or are you getting images from the internet?
I use it all. Like I use pictures from the internet. I use pictures from Google Maps. I use photos that I use. I collage a lot of those images together and break them apart and put them like. Also, I try to take what's important, you know, the things that I feel like are important, and capture those, finding a little piece of it and then reintroducing it in the different context. That's the way I try to approach the work as well. Like a little piece, something somebody else may be able to make it better than me. So why would I recreate it? But then I can maybe take what they maybe had or even discard it and use it in a different way to kind of like tell a different story.
All of these pieces relate to the title, Riots and Rallies, Parades and Protests, and each of the words in the title have their own definitions, and they're almost like a Venn diagram, the way they overlap and yet are different.
Yeah.
And you're dealing with the public in these artworks, crowds of people, and as we know, people act very differently in crowds than they do as individuals.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I'm trying to capture that herd mentality, that pack mentality. Like it's definitely us going back to kind of like our animal nature. People are similar as far as like, you know, especially when you're getting riled up, you get these people to have some type of thing to go against or claim as the other. Also, kind of like, you know, it's tribal. Schools and football teams and stuff like that. They get their team their fans wants to kick the other fans' ass. When it's finally brought together in a full room like this, you can see the cohesiveness of it. A lot of times I have an intention or at least certain intentions with certain things that I do lay down. Like it may not be the strokes and all of that other type of stuff, it's natural. But
Improvisational.
yeah, improv, happenstance, happy accidents, you know. I love that type of stuff. But then at the same time, and I don't want to know what the work is gonna look like when I'm finished. I don't wanna know. I'll know when I get there. And I usually do, you know, but it is a process of building and destroying, taking away, adding, laying things on top of each other, laying ideas on top of each other, covering those ideas, and then having some of it exposed through the layers.
Your murals are very much like these works, and you know, murals have a place in the public, literally.
Mm-hmm.
Do you distinguish between the works that are for a gallery and works that are improvised for a mural that's 5 stories high?
I usually do. I try. I know when I'm dealing with public art pieces, I'm having to deal with the community and other people are involved. So it is a give and a take when I'm working with that type of stuff, which I don't have a problem with because that gives me an outlet or a place where I know that the public also has access to my work. And I think that that's a blessing. One of my professor's sculpture is right around the corner from where I live. And now I have 2 murals that are like right there around his. So I feel like I'm just trying to do the same thing that he did too, as far as like have access to artwork, because even as a child, that's what influenced me, especially growing up in Dallas. Dallas, Texas, North Point Mall is a fucking museum. I mean, it's the Nashers curate the artwork and the sculptures that's inside this museum. The actual mall itself is a piece of artwork. It is like, and I remember growing up as a child, like seeing these huge, like 2-story sculptures in the middle of the mall, you know. And so
It was open to the public.
oh yeah, I mean it's a real mall. It's like a mall that has like, you know, all of your mall stores in it, but throughout the entire mall. And this mall is like, it's huge. It's a huge mall. So, but they, in the middle of different like intersections, they have just the baddest fucking art that exists. Like, you know,
Thank you, Texas.
sculptures. Oh yeah,
They did
yeah.
something right.
Oh yeah. Dallas definitely is on point when it comes to like that type of stuff. Like, oh yeah. I mean, it influenced the type of work I like. It's the reason why originally I was a minimalist painter, and it's funny like
You
that.
were
I'm
a
yeah,
minimalist painter?
yeah. I mean, that's
Are you
when
kidding
I
me?
was at ACA. That's all I was trying to do and stuff like that. So, but it was because of my influence from, you know, like Ellsworth Kelly is still one of my favorite artists to this day. Robert Irwin is another artist that is a minimalist, but I fucking love. Like, he's one of my favorite artists. So Donald Judd, we was talking about.
His birthday was yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that you told me that. Awesome. And all of them aren't accessible though, because I know the 5-story one is at a pool at this apartment complex, but it's cool because you can see it from the road across the tracks over at the goat farm, and different areas and angles you can still see it from different places.
I mean, it's
which is kind of
monumental.
cool. Exactly, you know. Which I like too. Like, you know, it's not like a secret location, but it would be cool to do a mural at a secret location. And then I've done some in like for CBRE at their office or Axis, and so only the people that work there. But then that's cool because the people that work there get to hopefully they think my artwork is cool, and they get to see cool artwork every day, you know. And because of the way I layer my stuff, hopefully every time they go past, they'll find certain new little things that they didn't see. Like I put a MF Doom shout out to on one of my murals, and you know, people loved it.